Inosuke tells them that the only reason he entered final selection was to test his abilities on demons, and Zenitsu questions Tanjiro about his reason for carrying a demon, as Nezuko exits the box herself. He chases Tanjiro, angry at him for having a girl with him all this time, without even giving him the chance to explain. Tanjiro Kasagikro informs the 3 demon slayers of their next mission, which will take place on Mount Nagumo. They bid their hosts farewell and set out for the mountain. When night falls, Zenitsu becomes frightened and hesitant. They come across another demon slayer, only to have him pulled back into the mountain. Inosuke takes the initiative, and Tanjiro follows. Zenitsu remains on the sidelines, too afraid to enter. They come across another demon slayer, Murida, in a forest covered in spider webs. He reveals that 10 of them were sent to the mountain, but they began killing each other without warning. Murada, Tanjiro, and Inosuke are attacked by demon slayers, but they soon realize they are being controlled by the webs that are attached to them. A short, pale demon confronts them, demanding that they leave his family or else their mother will kill them. In need of a plan, Inosuke employs his beast breathing and precise sense of touch to locate a demon. Meanwhile, after learning of the numerous deaths, the Demon Slayer Corps dispatched 2 of its Hashira, Giy and Shinobu, to assist. Murada stays behind to repel the controlled demon slayers, while Tanjiro and Inosuke flee, only to be confronted by the remaining controlled demon slayers. The puppeteer demon's mother is soon threatened by the earlier mentioned demon Rui into killing them faster or he will tell father. Mother, terrified, drives the controlled slayers further and more desperately. Tanjiro and Inosuke figure out how to stop the webs, but Mother pulls the webs that are attached to the demon slayers, breaking their necks. Tanjiro, enraged, decides to press on and find her. They continue into the forest, where they encounter Mother's most powerful doll, a large, bladed, headless demon. Tanjiro and Inosuke successfully killed the giant doll by coordinating their breathing. Inosuke unexpectedly launches Tanjiro into the air, where he spots Mother and is about to kill her. Initially terrified, she realizes she will be liberated from the abuse she has been subjected to and accepts her fate. When Tanjiro sees her surrender, he chooses the gentlest water-breathing form and gives her a peaceful death. Mother warns Tanjiro that a member of the 12 Kazuki is on the mountain as a thank you for blessing her final moments. While Tanjiro and Inosuke reunite, Zenitsu discovers a spider with a human head. He flees into a clearing strewn with webs, where he sees captured demon slayers transform into spiders. The family's son appears, telling Zenitsu that he has already been bitten and will transform as well. He climbs a tree in vain, terrified as the son mocks him about his fate. Zenitsu reflects on his time in training and how, despite his desire to live up to his master's expectations, he repeatedly refused to train. He loses consciousness and begins to attack, but the son's constant barrage of poison disrupts his form, which is revealed to be the first and only form of thunder breathing he could do. Despite this, his master encouraged him to perfect it. Zenitsu recalls being chastised by another student for his weakness and training under their master, a respected former Thunder Hashira. Despite the pain he has experienced throughout his life, his master's perseverance and stewardship, despite his cowardice, encourage him to continue. He decapitates the son using his own version of thunder breathing and tries to slow the poison's effects. While Tanjiro and Inosuke attack their daughter, who called out to their father, who emerged from the forest determined to kill them. Giy and Shinobu reach Mount Nagumo and decide to split up to cover more ground. Because of his tougher skin, Tanjiro and Inosuke blades are unable to harm father. He eventually flings Tanjiro away, leaving Inosuke to fight him alone, and he eventually succeeds in chopping off a hand. Shinobu discovers Zenitsu, who is near death from the poison. Tanjiro arrives safely, but he witnesses Rui torturing his daughter over family matters. He mocks their familial bond, which enrages Rui. Tanjiro fights him, but is overwhelmed by his steel-like threads and forced to retreat. Rui, enraged by his words and Tanjiro's refusal to back down, threatens to slowly kill him. Simultaneously and without warning, Inosuke is quickly overpowered by his father and severely injured after his swords break while he is attempting to cut his neck. When Giy arrives and rescues him, he is grabbed by the head and slowly crushed. When father retaliates, the Hashira instantly kills him. Tanjiro attempts a frontal assault on Rui, but his sword is slashed by an incoming thread. Inosuke, impressed by Giy's skill, he challenges him, but he is tied to a tree and denied. Shinobu administers an antidote to Zenitsu in order to stop the poison, while the others are cared for by Kakushi-trained assistants and crew in the Demon Slayer Corps. Tanjiro's face has been partially slashed as he barely avoids Rui's attack. Unable to defeat him, he is nearly killed by his webs, only for Nezuko to join in and take the hit, seriously injuring her. Rui, taken aback by her devotion to him, declares that she will become his new sister, rejecting and dismissing her. He reveals himself to be the lower 5 of the 12 Kazuki and kidnaps Nezuko, stringing her up in his threads and inflicting horrific wounds on her. He taunts Tanjiro into beheading him, but he fails because his neck is too tough. He manages to cut the threads using his water breathing's last form, but Rui infuses new ones into his blood, making them more powerful. He prepares to kill Tanjiro in a cage of threads using his blood demon art. He sees a vision of his father nearing death, telling him to breathe and become Hanoka Mikagura. He recalls his frail father performing a night-long dance in frigid weather every year, using a special breathing style that never let him tire. Tanjiro recalls the Hanoka Mikagura style and employs it to successfully cut the stronger threads. Tanjiro uses the new technique to overwhelm Rui as he fights to save Nezuko. When he sends more threads to kill him, Nezuko uses her blood demon art to ignite her blood and burn the threads away. Tanjiro beheads Rui with Nezuko burning blood, declaring that their bond will never be severed. Tanjiro crawls to Nezuko after the battle, only to smell blood instead of ash after a demon dies. Rui reveals that he cut off his own head in order to avoid death. Enraged, he prepares to kill Tanjiro once more, but Giy intervenes. Rui is defeated by Giy, who uses his own form of water breathing to defeat him despite using his most powerful attack. Daughter flees the forest after recalling how Rui discovered her and invited her to join his family. Rui enlisted the help of other demons, assigning them roles as family members. Rui abuse, on the other hand, caused conflict and pain within the family. One of Daughter's sisters attempted to flee the family one night but was apprehended and left to die in the sunlight by Rui. The daughter encounters Marauder in the present and traps him in an acidic cocoon. She is unexpectedly approached by Shinobu, who wishes to befriend her but only after ruthlessly punishing her for murdering the demon slayers. Daughter fights back, but is outmatched by Shinobu's superior speed. Shinobu, unable to behead demons, wields a special sword laced with lethal wisteria-based poison. She murders Daughter and sets Marauder free. As Rui's head falls, he notices Tanjiro hugging Nezuko and remembers why he wanted to start a family in the first place: to feel a familial bond. Rui recalls his childhood, when he was born with a frail and weak body and was forced to stay indoors at all times. Muse-an discovered him in pitying grief and transformed Rui. When his parents discovered he had killed and eaten someone, they attempted to kill him as penance, only for Rui to mortally wound them both. As his mother dies, she apologizes for not providing him with a strong body, and he recalls his father's intentions as merciful. Rui was devastated when he realized they had a genuine bond, but Muse-an pushed him to the contrary, driving him to become cold and heartless. He crawls to Tanjiro, who comforts him after smelling a scent of grief. When Rui is reunited with his parents in hell, they forgive him, causing him to cry. Giy chastises Tanjiro for sympathizing with demons, but he defends them as hopeless, tragic creatures who were once humans. Giy defends Tanjiro and Nezuko from Shinobu after recalling their previous encounter. Shinobu and Giy fight in confusion, while Tanjiro flees with Nezuko. As he flees, he encounters a girl attempting to murder Nezuko, who knocks him unconscious but is unable to slash the evading Nezuko. Akasegai Crow then announces that Tanjiro and Nezuko will be taken to the Demon Slayer headquarters to recover, along with Inosuke and Zenitsu,